How many of you got a noisemaker? Hey. So let's stand and let's use them. Clap your hands in joy. Celebrate this day. Clap your hands in joy. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. Make a joyful noise. Celebrate this day. Make a joyful noise. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. Clap your hands in joy. Celebrate this day. Zap your hands in joy. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. Make a joyful noise. Celebrate this day. Make a joyful noise. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. Clap your hands in joy. Celebrate this day. Clap your hands in joy. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. Make a joyful noise. Celebrate this day. Make a joyful noise. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day. This day, this day. Celebrate this day.
Good morning. My name is Kay Ewells. I am the trustee on duty today. I have made the mistake of calling myself a practitioner so much, people are starting to call me a practitioner. Walked up this morning and John said, "Good morning, you're a practitioner on duty." No, I'm not. I am the trustee on duty today. And on behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer, the board of directors, and the practitioners, I am certainly privileged to welcome you here to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated and supported and encouraged to be all that you can be. Our mission statement is love in action every day in every way. And we express this by learning and living the principles of the science of mind, which are found on the back of your program. If you'll join me in reading them now. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers today? Oh, we have two over here. Would you mind standing up and introducing yourselves?
I'm Laura, and I am a guest at Bells, who is studying yoga and the Enneagram.
Nice. And Laura, you said?
Laura.
Nice to have you here, Laura. Thank you for coming. And?
And I'm Nancy, and I'm doing the same. We're here to have some
And Nancy, thank you. Thank you for doing that. We invite you to stay afterwards and join us in beverages and food, cookies, and cheeses. I see a lot of goodies back there. So please join us so we can get to know you, and you can get to know us just a little bit better. I would like to thank all the people who made this Sunday celebration possible. And first of all, that is, of course, you. Without you being here, we wouldn't be here, would we? What? And thank you to the ones who make sure everything is set up, all the kitchen help, all the volunteers, all the practitioners, just everybody who pitches in and does a part. So please direct your attention now to the announcements that are on the inside of your bulletin. If you're watching online, please visit us at cslaz.org for announcements in the event calendar.
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste, namaste.
I'm John Lopez, and it is my joy and privilege to be the practitioner today. Please join me in our opening invocation. Knowing that God is all there is, everywhere present, filling all space, it fills this sanctuary and fills each one of us here this morning. And I know that today's service is already perfect, whole, and complete. And so it is. So I light our service candle, knowing that it represents the divine light within each one of us. And if there's anything going on with you that you would like treatment for, you can fill out a prayer card, put it in our box over there on the prayer table, or you can come see me after service, and I will do a 1-minute miracle for you. So my reading this morning is from the Science of Mind October Global Themes, week number 3. So this week, our focus shifts from personal power to embracing the transformative potential of collective power. Through collective power, we discover the beauty of collaboration, celebrating the richness of our unique perspectives while working harmoniously to co-create a reality filled with compassion, growth, and positive transformation. In Science of Mind, we recognize the power of collective consciousness. It underscores the potency of multiplicity in oneness. Yet, the journey towards collective empowerment may encounter challenges rooted in cultural beliefs. By uniting in purpose, we provide mutual support, creating a safe space to move beyond these limiting ideas. Power thrives when it finds a purpose, a direction to channel its force. A shared purpose becomes the conduit through which individual power unites to create a greater good. As we align with shared intentions, our uniqueness and diverse abilities merge harmoniously to accomplish our purpose. Each contribution, no matter how small, becomes a vital piece of the collective puzzle. Witnessing the impact of our collective efforts, we recognize the profound difference each one of us makes. Empowerment signifies the act of supporting another individual in their capacity to take action. In empowering others, we embrace a role that fosters growth, self-discovery, and self-reliance. We enable one another to step into our fullest potential and contribute meaningfully to the collective whole by stepping into our personal power, fostering a space where every voice is heard and every contribution is honored. The exploration of how we bring and express our power is a crucial reflection in our journey and personal growth. We ask ourselves whether our actions and expressions of power are free from harm. Are we mindful of how we engage with different ideas, disagreements, and viewpoints? We create a space for open discussions, embracing diverse perspectives without judgment. We welcome the richness of varied viewpoints, recognizing that healthy interactions are essential for collective growth and understanding. There is room for consensus building and finding common ground amidst differences. We transcend the need to dominate or impose our will upon others. Instead, seeking to harmonize and collaborate in a spirit of cooperation. In seeking profound community and connection, we follow the yearning of our heart. We discover what makes our soul sing and align with opportunities to share our authentic selves with others. As we come together in this spirit of unity and purpose, we co-create a reality that celebrates our interconnectedness, nurturing a harmonious and empowering collective experience. So I close with this quote by Ernest Holmes. When you say all things are possible, you mean that the power which created the planets is now operating in your affairs, in and through everything you do from this thing called you. Thank you. Namaste. So I take our candle, and we'll be holding the high watch for you during service.
When I was a girl each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word. Everyone would kneel in bed, consecrate the holy bread. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the tide. Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. Used to be a world out there, miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even greater magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. And holy water is rare at best, barely wet my fingertips. Now I gotta hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. Sit it's not a sacrament. Tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Used to be a world out there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. 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 Everything. That's a song by Peter Mayer. Thank you. Namaste.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. And it's really going along with our whole theme this month, that everything is holy. Everything is holy. I mean, if we could just get that through our heads, a lot of things, we could avoid a lot of frustration. We are continuing our theme, Finding God in Our World. And today my topic is Holy Encounters. And like I said, last week we talked about finding miracles in the mundane. And we looked at those experiences that we generally take for granted, seeing them as miracles in our life. Or perhaps my son loves to call them God giggles. I love God giggles in my life. It reminds us that we are surrounded by and part of one divine presence and intelligence. Sufi mystic and poet Heifetz says, God and I are like two fat men in a small boat. We keep bumping into one another and laughing. And isn't that true? How many times have you been frustrated as heck, and then something happens, that little red bird, something happens and you bump up against a God giggle, and it makes everything all right. And it's just simply a little reminder from Spirit that, hey, here I am. All you have to do is look. All you have to do is look. So this week I want to focus on relationships, what A Course in Miracles calls holy encounters. A million years ago, when I was in practitioner class with Dr. Michael Beckwith, he said something that I've never forgotten. He said, the attributes we give to God are concepts in the realm of the absolute. They can only be experienced through relationship. And if you think of that, that's pretty profound, because what it means basically is that the concept of whole, perfect, and complete, that's God. But then how that's expressed is through relationship. It can only be expressed through relationship. And God itself cannot be a part of a relationship, because it would make it a dual God. So the relationship that you and I have with each other and with the world is really our way of expressing those attributes of God. So if we look at it, we can say that God is love, but that love can't be experienced unless there's a relationship. I love you. I love John. I love my cat. I love this congregation. I love ice cream. But there has to be a relationship, and the same is true for beauty. It's a concept until we experience something that we call beautiful in our world. And all the other attributes as well, truth, beauty, harmony, peace, joy, abundance. These all become our personal attributes because we are in relationship with someone or with something. So we're focusing today, just like John, we're focusing today on our relationships with other people. A Course in Miracles says, when you meet anyone, remember it is a holy encounter. As you see him, you will see yourself. As you treat him, you will treat yourself. As you think of him, you will think of yourself. Never forget this, for in him you will find yourself or lose yourself. So if we think about it, our relationships are really the mirrors that reflect back to us our thoughts and beliefs. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, tells us the reflection of an image in a mirror is an exact likeness of the image which is held before the mirror. So the law of cause and effect reflects back to us a likeness of the images of our thought. Thus, we are told that we reflect the glory of God, but too often we reflect the fear and limitation of man rather than the glory of God. So if you want to know where your consciousness is, look in the mirror. Yeah, that's where it is. So when you and I try to change an outward experience without looking inward to what is in our consciousness, we, as I say a lot, we are simply rearranging chairs on the Titanic, because we cannot solve the problem at the level of the problem. We solve the problem first and foremost and only by changing our thoughts and beliefs. You know, how many people do you know who divorced an alcoholic and then turned around and married another one? I mean, or gets out of one really bad relationship and gets into another really bad relationship. If we believe in here that we are unworthy or undeserving of love, then no matter what we do on the outside, we cannot attract a loving relationship. We attract what we are in consciousness, not what we want. A Course in Miracles says the goal of spiritual practice is full recovery, and the only thing we need to recover from is a fractured sense of self. If you and I don't already believe it, another person cannot convince us that we're okay. If they act as though we are, we will either not believe them or become so dependent upon their reinforcement that we ask more of them than they can give. And either way, we stay convinced that we're not okay. Marianne Williamson says, in the holy relationship, we don't seek to change someone, but rather to see how beautiful they are. Our prayer becomes, dear God, take the scales from in front of my eyes. Help me see my brother or sister's beauty. It is our failure to accept people exactly as they are that causes pain in our relationship. And she says the only exercise in Workbook A of A Course in Miracles that is repeated several times is, I am as God created me. She says, as I have mentioned earlier, the Course says that your only real problem is that you have forgotten who you are. You awaken to your own perfection through your desire to see the perfection in someone else. So seeing another through the eyes of love is a way to begin to shift that inner consciousness so that we can experience that same love for ourselves. We are changing our own consciousness whenever we open ourselves to loving someone else. When I was working in Los Angeles, I worked for an architectural firm, and there was one architect there who didn't like me. I mean, he was practically rude to me. I don't know, I never did find out why, but there was just a personality clash, but I felt bad about it. I went to my practitioner, and she said, because she liked to do physical stuff as well as pray, and she said, draw a circle on a piece of paper, that's him, and then draw a dot in the middle, and that's love. And just keep doing that throughout the day. I had circles and dots on everything. But an interesting thing happened. One morning, I found him weeping at his station. He had 2 young sons and just found out the elder one, who was about 11, had been diagnosed with leukemia, and the prognosis was not good. His whole facade cracked. I no longer saw him as rude. I no longer saw him as a curmudgeon. I felt his pain, and I felt his deep love for his son, and I loved him at that moment. He was a very strong man, and he had to keep up his strength for his family. But about once a week, we started going to lunch, and often he would break down and cry in front of me so that he could go home and be strong for his family. And what a privilege I had to be that kind of a friend. Love can and must break all barriers. It heals every heart. And we might not think it is true, but even and perhaps especially, people who frustrate us, who make us angry, are very much holy encounters. As spiritual seekers, you and I are asking to be healed of anything that would keep us from our own enlightenment. Well, be careful what you ask for, because when you ask for that, then everything that needs to be healed within you seems to come up to say, look, this is part of your block. So that means that we have to be willing to tolerate and to learn from those who really annoy us, because we have to remember that they are the gifts of spirit, because they are showing us where you and I need to change. Most of you know that I had a really critical mom. And the whole time I was growing up, I could never do anything right. Never. And I kept that belief in my head, even after I grew up and left home. And it seemed like no matter where I was in the world, there was always one person who was my mom. She took the place, I had a friend for years, and for some reason I couldn't let go of her. But she was my holy encounter, because the more I worked on healing that relationship, the more I was healing that relationship with my mom. And after I've done a lot of work in my consciousness, and when I was able to see myself as a loving expression of God, I no longer needed to attract critical people in my life. And one day I noticed that they were all gone. So if there's someone in your life that's annoying, he or she may be your holy encounter, maybe your gift from Spirit to heal something in you that is blocking you from your unlimited joy. Marianne Williamson says spiritual growth is not about becoming more metaphysically complicated, but rather it is about growing simpler as these very basic principles begin to permeate more and more deeply into our thought system. Meditation is time spent with God in silence and quiet listening. It is the time during which the Holy Spirit has a chance to enter into our minds and perform its divine alchemy. What changes because of this is not just what we do, but who we are. So meditation, contemplation, prayer, they're all means of changing our minds to perceive the source of which we are truly a part. The whole of Science of Mind is about deconditioning old habit patterns so that we remove those blocks. Everything flows freely unless it's blocked. When I lived in Florida, I had direct TV, and most of the time we had wonderful satellite reception, but Florida has a lot of storms. And the dish, which receives the satellite images, must have a clear view of the southern sky. So when there were major storms, the images on my TV screen became distorted. The screen went blank, with the exception of the words, "looking for satellite." So if you think about it, the satellite was still sending its signal. That hadn't stopped. The dish was working perfectly. That hadn't stopped. My TV was ready and able to receive the signal. That hadn't changed. But the flow between the satellite and the dish was blocked by those storm clouds. And as the storm clouds passed, the reception returned to its original clarity. So there was nothing that the satellite, the dish, or the TV had to change in order for the program to work. The blocks simply needed to be removed. And our connection with Spirit is very much like that. Spirit is perfect. We, as individualized centers of Spirit, are perfect. But sometimes that infinite flow is blocked, and the screen of our life presents us with distorted pictures. So our job, yours and mine, is to remove the blocks. And the only way to remove the blocks is by seeing the truth, the perfection, the love, the wisdom that is what we truly are. And by seeing each person as a gift from Spirit, a holy encounter. Dr. Ernest Holmes says to understand our unity with God is the beginning of wisdom. To realize that we can express our divinity today should be the start of a conscious practice that will gradually conduct us to a greater and greater experience of life. Thus, we will demonstrate not only that an infinite good exists, but that it is now operating in our experience. This is the purpose of the practice of the science of mind. Every encounter is a holy encounter. Whether it is a smile to a waitress, a chance meeting with someone we'll never see again, whether it's a relationship that moves into our life for a while and then leaves, or whether it's one that will last a very long time. Every chance to see the face of God reflected in another is truly a holy encounter. And if we think about it, everyone who meets us is meeting a holy encounter too. Thank you. Namaste.
All right, let's stand and sing a song called Where I Sit. All right. Where I sit is holy, holy is the ground. Forest, mountain, river, listen to the sound. Great Spirit circles all around me. Yeah, who I am is holy, holy are we. Body, thought, emotion, connecting you and me. Great Spirit circles all around me. What I do is holy, holy is my way. Work and play together, celebrate the day. Great Spirit circles all around me. Where I sit is holy, holy is the ground. Forest, mountain, river, listen to the sound. Great Spirit circles all around me. Who I am is holy, holy are we. Body, thought, emotion, connecting you and me. Great Spirit circles all around me. I do is holy, holy is my way. Work and play together, celebrate the day. Great Spirit circles all around me. Great Spirit circles all around me.
Nice. Thank you. It's time for our offering. I was trying to think, Kay, do you remember what we did with the offering from the Ties to Others, Don? It was a food bank. Oh, food bank and Paws Patrol. Yeah, we split it. So that's where this, we tithe 10% of what we get from our Sunday congregation as a means to give back to the community. And so this month it was Paws Patrol and the Amado Food Bank. So, okay. So it's time for our offering. Will you join me in our offering affirmation? My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Thank you for everything. 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 Thank you for everything.
Okay. And we do thank you for everything. Thank you for your gifts of candy. And do see John if you'd like to go be a part of it. It's really a sweet way to keep the kids out of trouble and have a good time. And there was something else I was going to say, but oh well, never mind. So let's take a moment to close this portion out in prayer, and please join us for refreshments. I know that there is one divine intelligence, and that it is whole, perfect, and complete. And that its attributes are love, truth, beauty, joy, harmony, peace, abundance. And that as you and I walk this world, we express those attributes of God. And the more we can see each encounter as holy, the more that holiness shines back at us. I give thanks that I'm a part of this beautiful center in this wonderful little neck of the woods. And I speak my word through the power of the law of mind for anyone experiencing any kind of a challenge, to know that right where that challenge is the healing power of God. I give thanks that I'm here today and that you're here today and that we are each expressing the one in so many beautiful ways as we say together, and so it is. Thank you, and maybe stand and sing Stand.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand